Meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
Well, we continue to track the chance for showers and thunderstorms across the area here this evening, and we are continuing to see or looking at our next wave of activity to pull through the area here this evening. So when we look at our future track radar, well, it looks like my Max here froze on me a little bit, but you can see here with future track radar there that we are looking at some of that shower and thunderstorm activity. Okay, guys, looks like Max 1 is froze on me here this evening. If it's possible, if we could flip over to Max 2, looks like Derek has the system opened up for me there. All right, perfect. We got things rolling. Thank you very much, guys, for working with me here. Here's a look at that future track radar. As I mentioned, many of us pretty dry here at this hour, bit of a break in our waves of activity. So we are looking at our next wave of activity, just moving in on our western edge here. So when we look to zoom in a little bit closer to where we're starting to see more activity, notice towards Osage, Charles City there in Mitchell and Floyd County, even towards Mason City, a little bit of some light rain there and even into Worth County. Notice though, as we enter towards Leroy there in Mower County, looking at more oranges and reds indicating more moderate to heavy rainfall. So one thing we'll notice here with our line of storms tonight will be heavy rainfall, some frequent lightning, and maybe some gustier winds. But the threat for severe weather overall is pretty low for our area tonight. Now, still keeping an eye on that activity, that line here of thunderstorm activity just moving in on the western side there of Waterloo. That will continue to move to the north and to the northeast as the evening progresses. Now, the threat for severe weather, I think, should continue to stay to our south here for this evening. Notice that little red polygon hanging out there on I-80 just east of Des Moines. That is an active tornado warning. And again, that is where the greatest threat for severe thunderstorm activity will stay, is to our south and the warm sector. Now, when we look at the low pressure system, the center of that low still well off to our west there, but the warm front draped right over Des Moines and over that I-80 corridor, which is right where that tornado warning is. So a lot of that severe activity will stay along and south of that cold front, of that warm front there in the warm sector. So I think our storm activity, which is entering into southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, that should stay sub-severe here, not expected to become severe because it is so far away from the warm front. Now, as we time things out here for the rest of this evening, storm chances shower and thunderstorm activities does continue here overnight, but should push out to our east by about 3 a.m. or so. Then we'll look to see some dry conditions as we roll into very early Saturday morning, continuing throughout Saturday afternoon. Now, maybe a little bit of clearing possible across northern Iowa there for Saturday afternoon, and that could bump our temperatures up into the upper 60s, lower 70s, whereas folks along and north of the I-90 corridor could be looking at maybe some upper 50s, lower 60s for high temperatures Saturday afternoon. Saturday evening, looking at a little push of some thunderstorm activity possible there south of I-90, mainly into northern Iowa, by about 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. Then that main wave for late Saturday night, really early Sunday morning, that continues, that will push in by about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So we'll have to keep an eye on late Saturday into Sunday for that chance for maybe a few elevated thunderstorms. But the bulk of severe weather Sunday should stay well to our south towards the Quad Cities, Davenport area, and to the south locally. We'll stay under that level 1 out of level 5 threat for severe weather again for Sunday. When it comes to rainfall amounts, a little bit more expected here for tonight. Another couple tenths possible in the next 24 hours. Looking a little bit further out, next 5 days through about Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe. When all is said and done here for tonight's rainfall and the weekend, many of us could be looking at anywhere from around 1.5, closer to 2.5 inches here for the area. Tonight we continue on with those quieter skies at the moment while we await that next round of thunderstorm activity here with your Lewis Narrow live camera. Temperatures there upper 40s, looking at some low 50s. Strong winds though still continuing. We're still looking at gusts up towards about 30, 35 miles per hour here this evening. So staying blustery through tonight with temps into the upper 40s, lower 50s there. We'll stay windy into our Saturday here. We'll look to see gusts continuing up towards about 30, 35 miles per hour. Temps in the 50s and 60s and 70s there. So 7-day forecast, we're looking at conditions to continue on with quieter skies after the weekend. So next week looking to be better, getting some much needed rainfall here for tonight and the weekend.
Not too far away, though. People really dealing with quite a bit tonight.
I know it has been very active. So thankfully, locally, we're going to be getting that rain. We don't need that severe potential, but still continuing to can think and pray about those folks that have been impacted by those storms this evening.
So far, no reports of any serious injuries, which is
That's
the good
good news.
news every
That's
time, right?
fantastic, yes.
Yeah, you bet, Sarah. Thanks for keeping an eye on it for us.